Hello everyone, this is Chris, and a couple weeks ago I mentioned how 1.18 is changing the entirety of seeds as a whole. And while I did mention how you should check out my absolute favorite seed of 1.17 prior with this mega Savannah Plateau overhang over some water, I realized that there's quite a few other seeds that we should really look into and at least highlight before they're gone forever. And one of those being the infamous 666 seed. Because for such a cursed seed like 666, you actually get something that's pretty phenomenal, such as a village at spawn, a ruined portal at spawn, a desert temple not too far from spawn, another village not too far from spawn, a desert temple not far from spawn, an iceberg right there, and my favorite biome, the Savannah Plateau right here. Which again, for 1.17 generation, actually goes up fairly decently high, almost as high as it could actually physically go, all the way up to almost Y128. Also, you know this desert temple, which I pointed out, which by the way also has a blacksmith, this thing also, beneath it, houses the stronghold underneath it as well. Which means if you want to beat the game and beat the game fairly quickly, then this seed actually delivers with a very, very close stronghold to spawn. But if you don't want to wait for the next couple weeks for 1.18 to start a brand new survival world, then I'd recommend checking out this seed right here, because this seed actually is one of the biggest survival island seeds I think I have ever seen, which is actually split off into separate survival islands, because we have this one right here, which is, I believe, about a couple hundred blocks back and forth, and it also, not surprisingly, has a mushroom biome connected to the spawn area of it. But if we bump up our render distance to literally as high as it could possibly go, then we can see that this patch of land over here is actually a mega survival island seed. I believe it stretches about 2,000 blocks in a single direction, so yeah, in case you want, limitations with, the ocean to keep yourself intact with the main source of the, I guess, survival island sense, but you still want to experience the 1.18 generation and things like that, then this seed is probably a pretty good bet on using, a pretty good, example and seed on using for that particular sense. And it's still loading, and it's still loading, and it's still loading, and it's still going on and on and on, and I think that might just about be the edge, way off in the distance there. So, yeah, you are not shy of space on this mega island seed. And this mega island also houses some of the challenges Minecraft has to offer, such as the stronghold, which is actually just off the coast of the mega island. Which means, technically speaking, you really don't have any serious reason on actually exploring beyond this mega island until 1.18 comes out. Which is kind of the purpose of this 1C when I first found it. So one of the big selling points about 1.18 is those brand new and very exciting cave systems. Well, what if this seed right here actually has a fairly decent cave system as well that's actually, makes use of its limitations and makes it very, very interesting, that's actually not too incredibly far from spawn. Because just hopping over these trees over here, we see this one ravine right here, which has a mine shaft going through it, which if we head ourselves down here, we can see that it houses 3 patches of diamond veins right here, which I believe houses 15 bits of diamonds around the place. So in case you do want to get yourself, enough diamonds to get yourself started to do some proper exploration inside these mega caves, then this seed gets you really prepared really easily. And we shouldn't brush off the abandoned mineshaft too, with lots and lots of other possibilities for loot around the place too. But bottom line, this seed right here is great if you want to start off a world but not have to worry about working your way upwards really slowly. If you want to get, straight from the bottom up, then this seed really helps you out, and really helps you out pretty well. But there's one seed in particular that takes Ravines and takes it to the absolute extreme. And I'm of course talking about the infinite ravine seed right here. And not only are ravines infinite, but also lots and lots of small structures, such as these small little ponds here, such as trees, such as lots and lots of other types of things, I believe including diamonds, are actually infinitely repeating. But the big selling point and the reason this is one of Bedrock's most famous seeds is this thing right here. A ravine, which just so happened to spawn next to another ravine, which just so happened to spawn next to another ravine, which makes for this infinitely repeating ravine. And yeah, I think technically speaking, even though I think all the seeds I've shown off today and all the seeds I've shown off before, I think you should totally check out before 1.18. This one, I think, for certain needs at least a look at it and needs at least a loading up before we lose it forever. But even though we're losing the Mega Ravine part of this seed, the repeating nature of this one seed actually still repeats. And even though this isn't going to be what the 1.18 version of this seed will eventually look like, this still gives us a general idea as to, you know, whether or not the repeating nature of this seed actually is still here. And fortunately, it looks like it is still here with these Mega Desert Well lines right here. But yeah, any seed I've shown off over the past couple years on my channel that you find interesting, or any seed in general from Bedrock Edition that you've seen on YouTube that you think might be somewhat interesting, load it up now, because as of 1.18, you will not have access to it. And yeah, in case there's any types of seed you think I missed or something like that, if 1.18 isn't announced or something like that, then I might do one more of these types of videos. But yeah, for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.